Let me take you back to 2010. I mean, what a party. Justin Bieber's Baby and Leica G6 are being Bluetoothed between web sliders. Those who have iPhones are smashing high scores on Doodle Jump. Everyone's getting a Facebook account and adding long-lost primary school friends that otherwise would have been lost to the void. Life seems good, right? Except what no one knew was that we were embarking on the biggest social experiment ever. And of course, that was the infusion of social media into every aspect of our lives. If you're wondering where the sign-up waiver was, there wasn't one. You were either in or you were in. But I digress. The party went on. Eventually, Instagram and Snapchat rocked up. Tumblr popped in for a few before heading home early. TikTok came in making a grand entrance. And before you know it, here we are now, and a new and mysterious technology called artificial intelligence has jumped the back fence and joined the party. The truth is though, AI is not new. In fact, it joined the social media party a long time ago, and it's arguably the biggest reason why the entire project went so incredibly wrong. You see, when you scroll on social media, you're being delivered specific content that is designed to maximize your engagement. This content is supposed to keep you scrolling and to like and comment and share. But you already know this. What you might not know is that the mechanism that decides what content is most engaging for you is a primitive form of AI. Not the ChatGPT kind, but machine learning systems that are trained to predict your behavior. You may know it as the algorithm. Now, this algorithm analyzes the data it has on you based on things like your online habits, your IP address, etc., and it then uses that data to feed you content which will make you disgusted or angry or fearful or frisky or delighted. The algorithm learned that to keep us engaged, it needed to dial our emotions, keep them shifting, keep us reactive, not reflective. And it worked. This algorithm that has been lurking behind the scenes for the last 15 odd years is the reason why we can't sit and watch a movie through without grabbing our phone, or the reason why we get so viscerally enraged when we hear a differing opinion to ours. Now, all the social media companies have a different algorithm, and it tends to be the better the algorithm, the better they are at stealing our attention. But you know how I mentioned earlier that the algorithm was a primitive form of AI? Well, AI as a whole has grown up. It's a teenager now. And there are new characters in this season of humanity. Last decade was dominated by names such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Apps whose goal was to maximize engagement, and in doing so, stole attention. Now, we're introduced to new characters, such as ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, and Gemini. Apps whose goal is to maximize dependability, and in doing so, will steal intimacy. Not just your time, not just your attention, but your inner world. Think about it. What makes you choose one AI agent or LLM over another? Ultimately, it's how useful it is. If one AI can answer your questions quicker and more accurately than another, then generally speaking, that's the one we're gonna choose. But with AI agents and LLMs, there's also another element of likability. You see, we don't really want our AI agents to speak robotically. We like when they're talking freely and crack jokes and make us feel valued. So how does an AI become quicker, more accurate, and more likable? Well, sure, it needs more data, but specifically, it needs to know more about you. For example, if you're using ChatGPT for medical advice, then providing your medical history and your health records go a long way to getting better results. Mental health support would be no different. Relationships, the exact same. The more information you give on yourself and your partner, the more individualized the response is going to be. And if an AI knows your personality type, what grinds your gears and what flatters you, then it can deliver all of this wisdom and advice in a way that literally no one else in your life can. And if that happens, well, why would you bother turning to a friend or a loved one for, well, anything? Intimacy with others is hard, and that's kind of the reason why we share it with so few people. When we do share the intimate parts of our lives with others, these conversations tend to be pretty difficult. They're often characterized by fear and anxiety, but they are also characterized by virtues such as empathy, respect, trust, and compassion. They often leave us feeling closer and more connected to others or even ourselves. They essentially strengthen a relationship. And until now, intimacy has only ever been between humans. What will happen when AI agents who know everything there is to know about us provide the answers to every question, concern, or hardship that we face? What does that do to relationships and self-agency, or well-being and the social fabric? And granted that AI agents may be so intrusive into our personal lives, would we be capable of living without them? I fear that before we know it, the social media experiment will have been run again, and we will all be locked into a world that no one really wanted. We lost attention because no one knew that it was being stolen. And intimacy looks like it's the next jewel to be robbed. What else could be pinched without us noticing?